So now let's move on to the next session. We're very delighted to have Ms. Shiti Manghani, Chief Marketing Officer, STEPN, to share with us on the topic of sports as a lifestyle, a rewarding game for health. Shiti will be sharing with us on the advantages of the metaverse as a shared and collaborative 3D world, the pillars of STEPN, as well as the journey from Web 2 to Web 3. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Shiti.
Hi everyone, my name is Shiti and it's a pleasure to be here talking to all of you. Today we're going to talk a bit about metaverse and how at STEPN we're trying our best to push forward the agenda. So firstly, what is STEPN? STEPN is a Web3 lifestyle app. You can find it on Apple App Store or Android App Store. And once you've downloaded it on your phone, users purchase NFT sneakers and then simply move, walk, jog, or run to earn crypto rewards and NFTs. And just like that, STEPN is realizing its mission of connecting millions of users to Web3 while nudging them to healthier lifestyles and contributing positively towards carbon neutrality. So every month, for example, we donate $100,000 for carbon credit removals. So coming to the topic at hand today, metaverse, and why I believe that STEPN can push forward that agenda. So very quickly about me, by background, I'm an electronics engineer with MBA and experience across US, UK, Europe, and India for the last 15 plus years, managing multi-million-dollar businesses to founding AI startups based on fitness. My skills and passion essentially lie at the intersection of fitness, technology, and community. This is why I believe that STEPN is a completely unique project in this space, and that is bound to achieve unprecedented heights. Not to mention, we've got a strong business model that has taken traditional fit tech on its head, and a very strong team. Our founding team comprises of Yon and Jerry, two very accomplished founders from both crypto and blockchain gaming space. So coming to metaverse, I think by now we all agree on the definition of metaverse is not a singular technology, but more of a concept. It refers to a set of technologies that enable us to interact with each other within a shared virtual and immersive experience. A more precise definition could be a shared virtual 3D world or worlds that are interactive, immersive, and collaborative. And this is commonly understood as mixed reality, VR, 3D, AR worlds, like the one maybe in science fiction films like Ready Player One. So if it's a virtual world where people can represent themselves through avatars and participate in social experiences, then what's the role of blockchain or crypto or NFTs? Well, this is where we or STEPN come in. It's essentially because of three things: decentralization, interoperability, and composability. Now, it's easier to understand through examples. So I'll take three examples to stress on the need of this. Think of banks, social media platforms, and online gaming. Needless to say, the amount of powers, not to mention the monies banks hold, the need for decentralization becomes obvious, which is where the blockchain space comes in. Talking of interoperability, think of Twitter or Facebook. I'm sure you've come up with better alternatives, and somebody has always suggested to you, have you tried this? And you've always thought to yourself, oh, well, I would love to, but then I would have to invite all my friends over, and then it becomes a bit of drag, and you drop it. So essentially, since all of your data in this instance, for example, all your tweets or all your friends are held by a central unit, a central platform, your loyalty is bought over by data ownership, which no longer needs to be case in crypto or Web3. And the third point is composability. This refers not only to the ability to freely take assets from one metaverse to another, it also refers to the idea of linking metaverses easily to each other, something that in STEPN we call as realms or STEPNverse. But I'm jumping the gun here. So I'm going to dial back a bit and talk at STEPN how we think about these pillars and how are we developing. So our mental construct breaks this down into 4 big buckets: that of technology, tokenomics, community, and cause. So let me double click on each of them and give you a slight peek into our world as to how we are getting people to step into metaverse. So let's dive in. The first pillar is that of technology. Now, clearly, we are rewarding users and incentivizing them to run, walk, jog, and maintain an active, healthy lifestyle. So not to mention our proprietary algorithm around proof of distance, LBS, location-based tracking, set for proof of movement and models. But we have also developed some of the advanced and bleeding edge machine learning models for our anti-cheating system called SMAC, which is STEPN model for anti-cheating. Not to mention some of the advanced UI UX features are in-app with our NFT marketplace and decentralized wallet functions. Some people say that our app has got one of the best UI and UX in Web3, and that is by design. We have taken extreme steps to listen to community. We've got one of the most intense customer support teams in Web3. We've taken the best of Web2 and Web3 learning, keeping our ears close to the ground and listening to community. Oftentimes, a founder says that there are only 2 things that we do at STEPN: product and community. That's it. Every decision, every filter, every step we take day in, day out is taken through the filter, whether it's good for our product, whether it's going to be loved by our community. So talking about technology, it's also important to understand how this transition from Web 1 to Web 3 has happened. So I like to think and divide this into content, interaction, and focus. Now, Web 1 was read, Web 2 became read and write, and Web 3 became read, write, and own. But in terms of content, Web 1 was more like static, read-only. Imagine Yahoo or the Netscapes of the world. With Web 2 came the shared dynamic contents. Imagine social networks, Facebooks. But with Web 3 came the power to own, dynamically search this, content connection-based research and analysis. In terms of interaction, Web 1 was mostly no interaction, large company-based focus, whereas Web 2 was user interaction with social media, but data ownership in central repositories. With Web 3 comes AI-driven services and individual-based focus. And this is where listening to community becomes hugely important, because your loyalty cannot be simply bought by data ownership. Imagine if your tweets resided in a completely different server and you could just switch over to any platform that you liked with simple wallet login. And that's what the magic of Web3 brings. The next one is tokenomics. And this is a bit of a mix. This is where I get asked most often the question of why build a fitness app on blockchain? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The users get rewarded, which means more incentive to stay fit. There is ownership in selling of in-game assets like NFTs in real life with no friction. Imagine playing Fortnite for hours and spending millions and hundreds and thousands of dollars on your skins. But the worst or the best you could do is go to dark web or dark corner or dark web and hope to sell it. But that's no longer the case with NFTs in Web3. Third is tokenomics that ensures supply and demand, leading to the fourth, network effect, ensuring millions of users on board the rails of Web3 as an empowered community. Moving to third, and this is a good segue to talk about community. Now, there's a website called STEPNworld.com. Fortunately, unfortunately, it's not done by us. It's done by our community, where, as we speak, there are events happening in Athens, Miami, New York, LA, Japan, Korea, Taipei, Sydney, Melbourne, UK, all across the world. And this is all done by volunteers of our community. And this is not just 20 to 44-year-old males. This is their spouses, their moms, their dads, their mom-in-laws, the babies in push pram, and their pets in tow. It's a wholesome community that has gone far beyond our dreams. And one of the biggest reasons is that community feels empowered. They feel a sense of belonging. They have created a habit loop through accountability. There's an easy onboarding ramp through our apps, best product, UI, UX, all the topics that I just spoke about. This further creates a habit loop where day in, day out, they log into apps, they create an active, healthy lifestyle, the adrenaline kicks in, and they keep coming back. This leads to further collaborations, brands, more adjoining universes like our realms, which further onboards new users. And this is this magic flywheel of growth that we've been able to create. Talking of which, at this very beginning, we just started small, creating fitness apps. But now that we've expanded to millions of users, we've had to create more offerings to cater to their needs, create one-stop shop to onboard as many users as we can to take advantages of Web3. And so we launched our DEX called Door, and it became number one on Solana and then number one on Ethereum. We launched our own marketplace, and we will continue to create more exciting social features in the coming weeks and months. So stay tuned on our platform. Talking about the last topic of our mental model, which is cause. Not only do we donate every month $100,000 towards carbon credit removal, our community feels very inspired and together because of the physical and mental and social benefits accrued to them via using the app. In a nutshell, what I want to say is that we've only scratched the surface of NFT's utility. The key characteristics of NFTs that ripen them for utility, for metaverse, are transparency, indivisibility, transferability, and interoperability. And the way I think of their uses is broadly into two buckets. Secular, which is limited to ecosystem NFT projects, and B, broad, which have applications to humanity at large. So examples of secular use cases would be staking, exclusive benefits, redeemability, membership, breeding, etc., which is where lots of projects are, and we're doing a superlative drawback. But this is phase one. As we move into the next phase of broader utility, that is when we unlock the true potential of NFTs, Web3, and blockchain. And that is when I'm talking about authentication, IP, real estate, ticketing, voting, insurance, music, and the possibilities are endless. As our founder says, if tokenomics lay the foundation of Web3, NFTs are the bricks in the wall. So we are ready. Are you? If so, step into the metaverse with STEPN. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Shiti, for wonderful sharing. Thank you very much.